Welcome to Spotlight in Business. I'm Tammy Defoe, president and founder of GTApreneurs. I'm happy to introduce to you today Abhishek Basak. He is the head of operations for Clerk Tech in Canada, and he will be the guest speaker at our September the 24th business networking event at Improve Canada in Vaughan. That's one block north of Toronto. But before that, I want you to get to know him a little bit better. So thanks for coming on the show today, Abhishek. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Tammy, for having me. How are you?
You're very welcome. I'm great, thank you. So tell us more about yourself.
Yeah, I was born in India and I moved to North America around 10 years back. I lived in the US for a while. That's when I started working for a lot of outsourcing companies. And then I moved to Canada around 7 years back and I started Clerk Tech. So I'm the head of operations of Clerk Tech, as you just mentioned. And now Canada is home for me.
Nice. So what made you start Clerk Tech?
When I lived in the US, I realized that outsourcing is one of the most common services that every company, small or big, every company was working with a call center or an outsourcing company. And, overseas outsourcing is one of the most common things. Every Fortune 500 company has a major portion uh, of their business outsourced to a different country, especially in the Asian countries like India, China, Philippines. So I, I I was really fascinated by that industry, and I was working in that industry. So it gave me a lot of experience. And then when I moved to Canada, I saw that there was a gap with respect to outsourcing in the industry. Even though it was a saturated market in the US, it was not very common in Canada. A lot of small businesses and startups did not have access to these kind of services. And I just felt that these are the people I need to help with. These are the people who want to grow their business. They don't have the budget to hire an employee, but they definitely want to grow their business. And I thought that it would be a great idea for me to start the company. I had this experience from so many years. I thought, why don't I use that and start this company over here? And that's when I decided to start Clerk Tech.
Mhm. Yeah, that's great. I mean, like most people, we know that like Rogers and Bell and all those ones, right? They've got a call center overseas somewhere, but you just
Yeah.
kind of think, okay, you got to have some huge company to get this. But I think it's good that you're helping a lot of, you said new entrepreneurs, whether it be solopreneurs or small businesses, to expand without the high cost of hiring somebody locally.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
awesome. And so when you say you were working in the outsourcing industry before, in what capacity?
So I was one of the VAs, if you call it. I was an accountant when I graduated. I was a chartered accountant from India. So I started working for a company that was outsourcing their accounting operations, which was Universal Music, was outsourcing their operations to India. So I used to be working for Universal Music. And that's when I started my outsourcing journey. I used to travel to the US, to Los Angeles, and that's where their office is. I used to understand their process, come back, train the team, go back, learn another process, come back, train the team. So I was kind of involved in the complete ins and outs of outsourcing. And then I joined another company, which was in New York. It was called First Data Corporation, which was again outsourcing a major portion of their business to India. And then again, the same process because I had the same role in the previous organization. I continued with that, and then that's when I realized that it was a great business to do. And since I was also living in the US for a considerable part of my year, I was fascinated about the fact that I need to move to North America. And that's when I got the opportunity of applying for a PR in Canada. Now I'm a citizen, but back then I applied for a PR and I moved to Canada. And from there onwards, the journey started.
Fantastic. Congratulations on being a
Thank you.
Canadian citizen. Yeah, you're very welcome. Yeah. So it's kind of like the chef who goes from the dishwasher to like, owning like 10 restaurants, right? That you were able to go through the ranks. And obviously as an accountant, you got the schooling in that aspect of things. So you probably, saw a lot of businesses, you saw the revenue, you saw their expenses and things like that. And then so you can really, kind of advise this. So yeah, I think it's great. So tell us, what are all the different types of services your staff can provide to business owners?
So you can hire pretty much anything that can be done remotely. But to give you some examples, most companies would hire for are virtual assistants, executive assistants, administrative assistants, customer support, digital marketing people, social media specialists, accountants, bookkeepers. Uh, you could hire sales associate, lead generators, HR people, IT support, anything that can be done remotely. You can hire that employee through us for one fourth of the cost.
Okay. So give us some examples of tasks that a virtual assistant could do for you, because some people are completely new to the whole concept of virtual assistants.
I would say think of it as when you are in a business, there's a lot of things you're doing, and you want an assistant to take care of a lot of monotonous tasks. At the end of the day, you need to delegate your work to be able to grow your business, right? You can never be a big business. Always you don't want to always be a solopreneur or a small company. You want to grow your business, and you need to delegate. So anything you feel can be delegated or is taking up a lot of your time can be done by an employee. For example, if it let's say administrative tasks like booking your calendar, booking appointments, sending documents to your clients, you could easily delegate that to a virtual assistant. If you want somebody to pick up the phone and answer some questions about your product, about your service, like a customer support, you can just delegate to a customer support virtual assistant. You want an accountant to do daily accounting entries. It's not worth your time. You're supposed to be with the clients. You're not supposed to be doing daily accounting entries. Delegate to a virtual assistant. So, as I said, anything you feel that can be delegated, you need to delegate it to a virtual assistant. And of course, to an employee. But if you can't afford an employee, then just go for a virtual assistant.
Yeah, well, that's good because, I mean, I'm all about supporting local and things like that. But when you're, kind of a new business, then, it is more cost efficient if you can hire someone overseas.
Yeah,
And I've actually found that there's the same quality, whether it be local or overseas for the work. And now, can your assistants also make phone calls for business owners?
absolutely. As I said, they are as good as you and me or anybody you hire in North America.
Mhm.
They speak English. As long as you understand my accent, this is the same accent they're going to have. I was born and raised in India, so I know exactly how they speak, but this is the same accent. And everybody speaks English. English has kind of become the second language in India. Every school, every college is in English. So they can definitely make calls. And if you're talking about the phone call, the phone system, we help you set up a phone system that has a Canadian or a US phone number. So
Mhm.
you have unlimited calls in the US and Canada to be made by these virtual assistants.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think that's a big service a lot of people need. That making the phone calls because a lack of time, but a lot of people just don't like doing it. Myself
Yeah,
included, right?
absolutely. And it's so
You know?
important. It's a very important part of your business.
Yeah, and I mean, if I know the person already and I'm calling them, right? Yeah, I'm okay with that. But even though I talk to people all the time, right? I still kind of get a little bit nervous when I'm going to call people. That especially ones that I don't know. But
Yeah.
and again, so for the time saving and just the kind of be able to delegate things that are, not your most favorite things to do, I think that's it's good.
Yeah. I agree with you. And I'm sure, and I've seen this firsthand. We've had so many clients who started off as solopreneurs or who started off as really small companies, and they've grown to the point that they've hired more than 10, 12, 15 virtual assistants. And this doesn't, I always like to put it this way that we are not taking any jobs outside the local community because these people are not even able to hire an employee. Absolutely not. They are literally struggling, or even if not struggling, but at least not able to delegate or not able to pass on a lot of their work because they cannot afford or they are on a budget to grow their company. So of course, companies like Microsoft and Apple and these companies can hire employees in locally, but not every small company has the budget. So it's for me, I would say I'm always looking for these kind of companies, these kind of clients. There are very less enterprise clients that I work with directly. I generally like to work with small business and startup companies. And I also the reason I attend your events is because I find so many entrepreneurs who are starting out or are in this stage of business, and I feel that I can really help them grow their business.
Mhm. Yeah, fantastic. And we do get people as well who have been in business for a while, but some of them are still where they're doing everything themselves.
Yeah,
Right? And
exactly.
they're stressed out and they're tired and stuff like that. They're overworked. Because again, they maybe don't know about this opportunity, and maybe some of them they just need to learn to delegate. They need to learn to let go because you can't keep up the super high pace forever. I know when I got my first virtual assistant, which was it was about a year and a half ago or so, and I was able just to really grow after that because things like posting our events or making our spreadsheets for our events and making graphics and things like that. A lot of things that she could do for me, and some of the website work as well. That was able to free up my time to meet with more people.
Yeah. And it's not really about freeing up your time. Of course, freeing up your time is a very major part, but there is not everything that we know. Like one person cannot know everything. If somebody's an accountant, and we have a lot of accounting clients, by the way, if somebody's an accountant, he or she may not be the best at social media or the best at digital marketing, but
Yeah.
they could always hire a virtual assistant who's best at that,
Mhm.
or somebody who's a lead generator. And at the same time, similar, if somebody's a digital marketing company, they may not know accounting at all, but it's so important in your business. So you could always hire a virtual assistant. So you can fill the gap. That's what I'm trying to say. And just because you don't have access to talent or you don't have the budget doesn't mean you don't deserve to grow.
Right. Yeah, fantastic. Well, look, thanks so much for coming on today, Abhishek. That was a lot of great information, and look forward to seeing your presentation again the 24th. So everyone here, you want to come out to see Abhishek and learn about, from him about growing your business, and also meet lots of other amazing entrepreneurs who could become your clients or referral partners. Hope to see you there.